Hello, in this video I'm going to cover the .plt and .pld file extension types for the print layout. So that is print layout template and print layout document. So let's just get into it here. I'm going to open up print, so file print. You can do Alt FP or you can use the drop down file print. And right away, we've actually loaded a print layout template.plt. So let me show you what that looks like in the attribute, or not attribute, the folder structure here. This is where I installed Atlas 3. So this is the main Atlas 3 install folder. And in here, there's several different folders, but the print layout or printing layout folder is where all of your templates and PLDs will be saved. So if you go to save as, it's going to default to this location. Now when this loads up for the first time after you hit file print, it's going to load this default PLT. And so with that template, you're kind of jumped straight in. You already have something loaded, and the default PLT is based on a 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper. It's oriented landscape. I have all of the necessary layout elements already present. We've got the scale and the map. Obviously, you have a neat line on this map, and the legend has kind of been manipulated already, so it looks fairly clean. But it's meant to be a starting place for you, really. So the default PLT opens, and you can change this. You can work with the text. You can move everything around to your liking, and then you can save a new PLT. And the templates are really, I see the PLT being used quite a bit more in terms of getting your workflow set, because you'll most likely always want to start with the PLT, and then depending on how you move through the day or your workload, you might need to save a PLD, and the document is going to be more necessary for something that you have finalized and that you want to print and that you may want to come back to in the future, because the document does not or I should say it does maintain whatever map extent you had when you saved the document. It will remember. So if you are working in a specific grid location, or you have this Bagley fire, you're working on these units right here, and you want to save this, print this, come back to it in a week, you can open the document and you'll be in this same exact area with all of the text the same exact way. If you set this up as it looks now, for instance, and you just kind of had everything set and then you saved a template, next time you opened, if you're in a different location, you open up and you're miles away in a different area, the template is always going to load with the map synchronized. So there's a different video and a different section in the manual for the map element itself, but let's just click on that real quick and I'll show you what that means. So I have the map selected as in the element. You can actually see there's a little bit of a dotted line here around that, and map tracking mode is set to synchronized. So by default the templates are synchronized. Now let's just change a couple of things here and save a document. I'll just remove this and put document in here, and let's just change this .pld and copy that, enter. Okay, so we've got something customized here, and say we never want to lose our spot here. We want to go up and we want to be able to print this again. Maybe we need to come back to it tomorrow and we need to update this text, but we're already in the perfect space. So let's just remember where we were. Save as. You want to make sure you have PLD selected. It opens to that print layout folder, and we'll just call this test PLD. and save that. So now I'm going to close and try to remember where we were here. I'm going to pan over here just as an example. If I hit file print now, sorry, it's hiding. It loaded the template, so it's showing where we are on the extent, but we need to go back to where we were yesterday, and we need to finish up what we were working on. So let's open. Oh, no, we don't want to save. Here's our test PLD. I'm going to open that, and you can see the extent changed. We have our text from yesterday, and we're back in a place where we can continue working or print again, or make a modification to the styles. So talking about styles, it does not, the document and the template do not have anything to do with your style settings. So if I saved a PLD with all of my regens looking blue, and then an hour later I changed all my regens to green, the next time I open it up, it's going to still reflect what you have in your style settings in your layer tree here. So map files. You still may need to use map files as you might be accustomed to in Atlas SE. If that makes you more comfortable, you can still load a map file for individual maps, because those style settings obviously will be saved with that map file. You can load a map file with your specific style settings, and then potentially in tandem with the document, you can maintain your text. So the map file will obviously maintain your extent as well when you load that map file. And so that would be a little redundant with the PLD, because the PLD is also remembering the extent, but it would be nice if you were able to keep all of that text, so the PLD would do that for you as well. So one more tip, I don't know if this is going to change, but if you do set up a new print layout template and you don't want to use the one that comes with the install of Atlas 3, and you set this up completely new, here, I'll make this map smaller just so we can kind of see what that would do. Okay, so now we have a little tiny map. Now let's save. We're going to save over, we're going to overwrite the default PLT. So if you overwrite the default PLT with what you come up with, the next time you load file print, it's going to use the default PLT that you just overwrote. So all this really does when you open file print is it looks into the folder here for anything called default, and if it's called default, that's what it's going to load. So you can kind of dive into the folder structure there and manipulate Atlas 3 into opening what you want to see every time. Other than that, just remember that it does, when you save a template or a document, it's going to remember your paper size. So if you want to go ahead and add to this list in here, if you like making 24 by 36 inch maps and you want to set up a template for that, save a whole new template with all of your map elements set, and you can always call that again. It will change the paper size. So if I load right now, just as an example, the 11 by 17 layout template, and you can see that that changed. There is actually a small bug right now. This was supposed to change, and that's being fixed as we speak, but these will be synced up, and the idea is that template based on 11 by 17, bam, you're ready to keep working. You've got your paper size ready to go. Obviously the paper size updated on the extent here, and you're ready to just keep working. So I think that's going to do it for the overview. There may be more tips and tricks to come with that in the tips and tricks video area, the section in the manual, and if you need to know anything else about these layout elements, there's a video for every layout element and a couple more videos that just do a general overview, and it goes over print this whole section as well. Thank you.